Hey guys, what's going on? So what I wanted to do with this is look at two images here. I have a weeping willow and I have this AI graph that I did here. And essentially what I did was I went into Midjourney to create some images because what happened was is that I was looking for a specific brush but could not find it. So I went into Midjourney to create it. Now the prompt I use for Midjourney is a very simple one. It is, if we come here, it is vector text graph, white shapes, black background, minimal AI inspired shapes, futuristic design. The main thing to remember here is that you wanted to say vector, but you want white shapes with black background. Everything else is up to you, but these two items here is what give us the ease of turning it into a brush. In Photoshop, what happens is that whatever is white is transparent, whatever is black becomes the brush. But of course, starting off with a black and white image where the background is black and the I guess you could call it the graph itself is white, makes it a little easier to work with. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I see I was working on it. First things first, the other thing that makes this easy because it's simply black and white is that when it comes to the channels, we can look here. It looks pretty much all the same, so we can just use we're going to lose those channels. Now, here's the thing. Let me create a duplicate of this so I keep the original. Move it down here. I could do this. I could rasterize this layer and simply invert it by going Control I. And as you can see, we now have, let me go ahead. We now have our black shape and white background. Okay. So I can come here, go edit and define the brush, and we'll call it test brush 1, hit OK, and here's the brush. So if I turn this off, create a new layer, and there it is. The thing you can see though is that right here on this shape, you can see we have this. So it's not completely black and white. We have this haze here. We don't want the haze. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to bring this back. I'm going to invert it back. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my channels. I'm going to go to blue and I'm going to duplicate this blue. And typically what you want to do is find the channel that has the most contrast. In this case, it's black and white. They're all pretty much the same. So I'm just going to use the blue. Come up here to image, adjust, levels. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the level here. Now what I'm trying to do is remove the haze, but I'm trying to make sure that I keep most of the graphs here. So some of these features here, I want that line there. If I go too far, you can see I start to lose a little bit of the texture. So just trying to find that balance where we keep that, and we're gonna make it wider. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we're going to do now, we can invert it now. So we do our, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to take our blue layer and we want to select the white. So I'm going to hold down the Control key, select. I'm going to come over here, create a new layer. We can go ahead and turn all of this off. I want to make the black my foreground, and then I'm going to just Alt backspace to fill that in and Control D to deselect. Now this I will turn into, and you can see it that if we come here, put a solid color layer, maybe red, you can see we didn't get any haze. Okay, and we're going to prove that out in a second here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Edit, define brush. We're going to go to text screen. Okay. Turn this on. Let's turn that off. Let's go with the white. And you can see this time no haze. And if we just zoom in, you see we got no haze. And if we were to let's come in and put a gradient overlay on it. You can see now we have our gradient overlay. Let me go back to a normal. Okay. So the steps are pretty easy. Let's go through that one more time. Again, I'm going to duplicate so I can keep the original. This is my weeping willow. And I will rasterize the layer. And you see, I'm going to take my blue channel, duplicate it, come over to levels, and this time I got this I guess it's an artifact, I don't know what you want to call it, but there's some stuff going on here that Midjourney put in for some reason, not sure why. It seems like whenever you put a vector in, it wants to put these lines or something in it for some reason. It's weird how it does that, but I'm just going to move the black over until that is gone. And I'm going to take the whites and brighten it up. Okay. All right. Now that I have that, I'm going to go Control and click on the blue copy channel to select it. Add a new layer. Make sure the black is the foreground. Alt backspace, Control D, and now we have our brush. And if we come here and put a solid color layer underneath, you can see that we have our weeping willow with no artifact, no haze. And now we can turn this into a brush. We're going to call it the weeping willow. Hit OK. And if I wanted to bring some type of image in, I guess I can find something to bring in. I don't know. What do we have? Maybe I bring some kind of landscape in or something, I guess. Oh, I don't know. Let's just grab something here and anything will do. We'll just bring something in. This really doesn't fit, but if we wanted to, we can put white, take our brush, add it here. Maybe come all the way down here and put a weeping willow in there, and maybe even a color like that, something like that. Yeah, here we go. All right, and so we can put a bunch of trees off in the background. Let's do that. Okay, so there it is. Just something that we can do. We can put that out there. This allows you to create almost anything, turn anything into a brush. Now, with this being a black and white layer, we could always just come in and just say, take the blend mode, turn it to screen, but you can see that we're getting that artifact, and then you have to come in. So then you'd have to go in and you still have to do the levels. All right. So you could do that if you wanted to, but with it being a brush, that means we've permanently made it that, and we can use it on any image. We don't have to keep pulling in the same image. It's now a brush and we can use it. Okay, so that's the benefit of it. That's the benefit of this technique. Real easy thing to do, and it's another thing that we can use Midjourney for, just to get some assets that we can create for whatever project we need it for. Okay, so that's it. We are done, and hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Make sure you check out the podcast with the AI stories, and keep coming back for more videos.